What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm back out shed hunting again, trying to get the last of that in this year before things start growing and greening up. Today you might be able to see behind me, but I'm back out on the dairy farm property where in a couple videos ago I kind of looked around and had kind of a hard time trying to find anything. I'm not really that used to hunting or shed hunting these active farms, and so it posed a little problem with me. But I do want to say I got a ton of good feedback from you guys, a lot of tips, and I appreciate that. And today I'm back out real quick trying to implement some of those things. Right now I'm on the edge of this field here, kind of along a creek bottom, and I'm trying to search for any trails going in and out or things like that. Trails going in and out. I'm kind of just walking the edges. If I see a trail, I'll probably head into the brush and look that over a little bit. Otherwise, I'm looking for some green spots in these fields. If I can find those, I'll kind of look, and I'll just cruise the edge and see if I can check some of the more likely spots a little bit better. I don't have real high confidence. I didn't, last time I was in here, I didn't see as much deer sign as I would expect, being that there's still a decent amount of corn left in these fields. I would think that there'd be a lot more deer activity, but doesn't mean they're not here. So I'm gonna look around and see if I can figure that out today. So hang with me. We're gonna look it over a little bit, and hopefully we can do a little bit better than last time. At least I do have some ideas this time. All right, we'll catch you in a bit. I cruised up that other creek bottom a little bit where I opened the video, and now I'm into kind of a ravine between two cornfields. There's active cornfield there, it's picked now, and then picked corn there, which I was kind of skirting the edge on the main creek. But in here is kind of a spot where I would imagine they'd either cross to go into, between these two cornfields, or bed down in here. There's a little bit of cover. I mean, it's not super thick, but it's not terrible. And I see a lot of corn on the ground. I mean, the field's still got some in it, and there's a bunch of cobs and things in here. And I see some trails kind of going straight up this little ravine creek drainage. And I also see some good ones coming in and out. So I'm going to look this over. It goes for another 100 or 250 yards this way. I'm going to keep looking this over, and then I'm going to get back on the edge of the field and skirt up and hit a couple other spots where I saw even more deer sign, and then try to walk in on those trails, see if I can pick something up. I know there had to have been some bucks here this winter. It's one of the better feed places in the area, and there are some nice thick spots. So there's got to be some here, just a matter of whether or not I can find them. But I'm going to hope to do that today. It was mentioned to me in one of the comments that checking these green spots in the cornfields are great spots to look. And I can see why. It seems like there's way more sign in here. I'm just in a little skinny grass waterway that leads down into that ravine, and I'm seeing a lot more deer sign in here than I would see anywhere else in the field. It seems like a ton of droppings and tracks. So this really could be a good strategy. I think I'm gonna implement that and look around at a few more of these wherever I find them. Looks to be pretty good. One of the other tips I was given was to get up on a high spot, kind of a vantage point in the field, and do some glassing and see if I can pick anything up. And that's what I've been doing here. I'm kind of on the highest spot in this part of the field. As you can see, there's a lot of field around me too. But I'm up here. Anything that looks kind of suspicious, I've been pulling out the binos and checking it over, and it seems to be working pretty well. I haven't found sheds yet, but I'm able to cover quite a bit of ground, which is great, and not put on quite as many miles walking around. So I'm gonna just look a little bit more from up here, and then I'm gonna head down to the edge of the woods here right behind me. That's pretty close to the property line. It goes back in there a little ways, but there's a strip of that, and then I'll kind of walk this hill up here as well. Down here is where I saw most of the tracks when I was out last time. There was still a little bit of snow, but it looked like some really good trails going in there. I think the neighboring property, it looks like, has some pines and stuff, maybe some thicker things. So they may be bedding in there and coming out here to eat. Also, you can see out that direction too, there are some other good pine groves. I see one over there, and it's got some kind of grass around it. I'm guessing that would be a killer spot. There's picked corn there, but that's also on the neighboring property, so I can't go over there and look. It's kind of neat being able to look from up here, because I could pick out some spots that I think would have pretty good potential. just whether or not I've got permission on those, which I don't. But this farm, you know, kind of being able to look over those similar types of locations. But anyhow, I'm going to keep doing a little bit of glassing here, and then I'm going to move on to this edge down here and walk some of the trails that look promising. We'll see what I can find. I was just trying to catch there's a male ruffed grouse there all fanned out, kind of strutting around, and I didn't even notice the female. I think it was a female, roosted right in this pine tree right in front of me. Since I was ready for it this time, it didn't really spook me, but usually those things will make you jump, kind of. They let you get pretty close before they bust out. Certainly not a scary animal, but that's for sure. But sometimes if you're walking and not paying attention, they'll really get you to jump when they bust out of the cover right in front of you. That was kind of cool. Still cruising this edge of this cornfield. This is a little kind of an inlet on the main cornfield. I was cruising some of this thick brush up on the side hill, but it got so thick I couldn't really get through it. And there's not much there. I think I can see most of it from the field edge, although there's a good chance I could miss something. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on cruising around this hill. This is kind of a north-facing slope, and then across the valley here is some more really thick stuff, and that kind of faces south and probably has better sun exposure. So I'm gonna go across there and then kind of walk down through that brush out into the field again. There's kind of a point. So I'll see if that pans out for me. I am seeing a good amount of deer tracks along the edge of this field, so I know they're here, and most of the tracks are real fresh, or a lot of them are quite fresh. So I know they've been here recently as well, which would make me think, you know, maybe a month ago or so when they were really dropping antlers, they would have been in this vicinity. But no luck yet. I'm gonna keep on moving. Still cruising through this point, this kind of thick point in between the two little cornfields. And I'm just baffled as to how I'm not finding antlers in here. It looks absolutely perfect, and it's some of the best sign I've seen on the property yet. It looks really, really good. Tons of deer tracks, droppings, rubs, beds, all sorts of stuff. And it makes sense to me. And although I'm not a deer, to be in between these two cornfields, it's a really good option. It's kind of a point. They could bed in here, and it's thick. It's nice stuff. So yeah, kind of getting a little bummed I'm not picking up any antlers, seeing everything else. But I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go down and actually go down to the end of it. I'm kind of on the north edge of it, and then I'm going to cruise back up a little bit closer to the field because I can't really see down there. So maybe there's something a little bit closer. I'm probably only 40 yards, 50 yards from the field, but I can't see very far in here. So maybe I'll pick something up there. The sun is getting a little low now, but definitely not giving up yet. I'm going to cover this a little bit more and see what I can find. Well, everybody, I think I'm going to head back to the truck. You know, I hate to admit defeat, but I think I got beat on this property. That'll probably do it for me here this year. I think I found some good spots that I'm going to keep in mind for next year, and when I get out then I'll show you guys those spots again, and we can see if there's still something in there. But yeah, this doesn't do it for me for shed hunting. I've got at least a couple other spots on the main farm that I'd really like to check before it thickens up and greens up. And I've also got 2 more properties that I'd like to get out on and at least give them a quick once over, some of the best spots that I haven't even been to yet this year. So if I do that, that'd probably bring me pretty close to the end of shed season. I don't usually give up until it really starts to get thick and green and hot. And even then, if I'm out doing some other activities, you know, like food plots or something, if there's some good spots, I'll definitely check them out. So I'll bring you guys that. But that said, yeah, I'll probably have a few more shed hunts coming up here real soon, and then it'll be getting into food plot season. And I think I mentioned in the last video or one of the recent ones that I've got a bunch of food plot stuff to do this year since I kind of neglected them last year. So that should be fun. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me. Thanks for sticking with me here. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you any sheds, but I sure tried today. Tried hard, and hopefully you enjoyed just coming along and looking these spots over with me. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. All my returning viewers, you know, thanks for watching again. And if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Take care. Have a great day.